Hello and welcome to the third event tutorial. Today, sorry for any of the background noise that you guys can hear, but today I'm just going to be going over the initial mission of what we're going to be doing once we get into a fresh wipe official server as the Zerg. Now, this is going to be 3 to 4 different Zergs all merged into one, so this is why we are going so in-depth into making a plan, and I decided to make a video for it, so please bear with me if this video is very half-assed. Now, in this first slide, you guys will see that there's just a red circle. This is just an example map. This is not at all going to be accurate at all. This is an example. So the red dot represents where we will be stationing our base. So base builders, you will be keeping an eye out for a map being posted in any of the chats of where our base will be located. Obviously, we'll be giving you coordinates and so on and so forth. For instance, this one will be at L13, and we'll go on from here. So this is basically where the base builders will know their location, and they will head here and then worry about resources. Do not be mining resources and making your way there. You can if you want, but if you die, it's not on us. Don't want the crying. So, basically, in the next clip, you will see that the base will be surrounded by other bases. The middle base will be the main base, while the other ones surrounding will be squad bases, which we are going to have everyone put into a squad of 2 to 3 people, if not 4 or 5. This prevents insiding, so if one of these bases happens to inside, they will not be taking the main base. But if somebody does take the main base insiding, we have plenty of other bases around to get that middle base taken back. Should not be a problem, hasn't been since, so we'll move right on. So the next slide is basically the looting runs. Any yellow lines you will see that are basically, maybe, I wouldn't say I'd run that far to get resources, but if you're already out there, you could. The red lines are going to be ease of access looting areas and where we were going to be looting a lot. So this may be in a more condensed area where there are more monuments around us, so you don't have that long to run. But basically, each squad will have their own looting zone. You can share with other squads. I mean, it's not going to be hammered into your head that you only can loot from one area. It's just going to be recommended to keep the loot pool a little bit even on both sides, because there's going to be more people in this server. So this is just for squads of 4 to 5 people or 3 to 4 people. The next slide is going to be the raiding distance. Raiding range is basically anything inside the yellow range is safe. There shouldn't be any bases there. Yellow or orange range is basically the remove any bases that are there. If there are any bases, we troll, door camp, do whatever we need to do to keep bases from being developed in that range. Anything outside of the orange range and outside of the red range is not in our jurisdiction. We're not going to try messing with them. But inside of the red range, we are going to, late game, be removing any bases from that area. And if there are none to remove from there, we move outside of that range to find more bases. In the next slide, you will see the late game plan is to camp each one of these monuments for late game. This would probably be, I'd say, a week before wipe. This will also include the airstriking, which I left a little tutorial in here real quick of how to show you guys to do that. But first we'll get on with the farmer's loot zone. This zone will basically be for the running zone for farmers. Anybody who has a farmer role will be doing nothing but farming. You'll be getting comps and all that stuff. And this is only for the first week. After the first week, we should have plenty of resources that everyone else can do everyone else's job. So basically, farmers will become PvPers, and PvPers will become PvPers/farmers, so on and so forth. The next the next photo is basically the PvP roaming zone, which is basically, if you're a PvPer, this is within the zone that you will be able to PvP. If you go any further, you're more likely to die and not get backup. Within this zone, you will be able to get backup from any squads within the areas. It's more likely that you'll get support in that area. So this is the next slide is going to be an airstrike tutorial if we have attack helicopters. So this is late game. Basically, you'll be calling out the grid. So first off, you will mark the position of where you see the enemy. You will note on your compass of what number it is. So for argument's sake, we are going to say that it is K11 at 125 northwest. This is going to help the people inside the heli be able to determine their exact location. You can say top left K11, top right K11, or some other number, but by the time they actually get there, which should be within the minute or two, the person would have moved by then. So to prevent multiple amounts of people giving comms, if they're staying still, give your bearing at 125 northwest at K11. If they are moving, you will give the direction in which they are moving. So you'll figure out which direction they're going, and then you will say K11 to L11. So basically, if they're, running from the south to the north, you do K11 to K10, so on and so forth. It just helps the air traffic be able to determine where exactly they're going to bomb. That is basically, that covers it. Yeah, that covers all of it. This basically, I just made this video because we have a lot of extra people joining this event. So normally I'd be able to address a VC of 20 plus people and be able to explain the whole plan. But this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to have to post this video to multiple different clans.